Howdy there guys and welcome back to Edgar TV. It's a Grand Slam of Darts video where we're going to look ahead to see who's going to be defending money from 2 years ago who are not in this event. So players that are guaranteed to be losing ranking money, which means we're going to see lots of movement in the rankings. It is that time of year where I feel like I'm making these videos all the time because the events are coming thick and fast. We've still got the Players' Championship finals and the World Championships coming up where big moves are going to be made in those rankings as people don't qualify for the event that did a couple of years ago, and of course the sizable amount of prize money that will be shifted around and distributed out to different players. I'm going to start here with the Grand Slam. I'm going to look at people that was in the group stages who wasn't able to qualify this year, who will be losing ranking money. That starts with Rusty Jake Rodriguez, I say starts with him. He was in this 2 years ago, but he doesn't actually lose any ranking money because his 2021 prize money is non-counting because he wasn't playing with a PDC Tour card at the time. That can't be said for Mervyn King, player who reached the third position in his group a couple of years ago. He was a bit of a shock elimination at the time. Bradley Brooks taking that second position, and with Mervyn King now dropping into the 40s off the back of this missing out on the Grand Slam qualification, £7,500 coming off his prize money. That's kind of manageable if he was in the Players' Championship finals and the Worlds, which at the moment he isn't. He can't make Minehead because the cut-off's already been for that. And he does have that PDPA qualifier where 4 positions will be available for the World Championship, but you do feel it's sort of now or never for Mervyn King, or he's going to have an Ian White season. He could be in a bit of bother. Jim Williams finished third in his group, £7,500, but that is non-counting to his PDC Tour card because he was in here as a Challenge Tour qualifier a couple of years ago, so not going to be losing any money off his rankings. Boris Kritchmar will be losing money off his. He was 4th position a couple of years ago, so that is £4,000 that he will be losing. He's not out of the top 64 yet, but he is moving towards the 64 cut-off. He is in Minehead though. He's in that top 64 for the Players' Championship finals, which means he's guaranteed 2,500 and he's got a chance to maybe win and get more. He's also got that PDPA qualifier where he could get into the World Championships as well. So still chances yet for Boris Kritchmar. Mike Dedecker, he finished 4th in his group. Gabriel Clements finished 3rd in his group. Neither of those players managing to get into this year's Grand Slam. Fallon Sherrick and Peter Wright was the 2 players that went through the group on that occasion. But no real damage done. Clement's going to stay solid in the 20s. Mike Dedecker finishing 4th, £4,000. That's not a big blow when you look at what he's managed to put on his rankings this year. Matt Campbell finished bottom of his group, 0 points, non-counting. 2021 prize money does not count because his tour card started in 2022. So it's that we're dealing with, not the 21 when he was in here as a Challenge Tour top-up. Lisa Ashton and John Henderson, 3rd and 4th in their group. Neither of those no longer have a tour card, so non-effective for those. Raymond van Barneveld finished 3rd in his group. Lost Michael Smith and Gary Anderson, the 2 players that got through that group. Only win he had was against Joe Davies, but no damage again for Barneveld. He'll be comfortably sitting within that top 32 position. So that's the group stages. £7,500 or £4,000 defending if you finish 4th or 3rd. No one really massively affected by that sort of loss of the prize money that they're going to have. Probably Kritchmar and King, the 2 biggest dangers. Now, we don't really have anyone who had a big run in this a couple of years ago. We've got a couple of players that reached the last 16. They got out their group, like Ryan Joyce. Ryan Joyce won his group, ended up losing in the last 16 to Rob Cross. He stays stable in the rankings. He's not going to be moving too much. Joe Cullen hasn't qualified for the event this year. He lost out 10-5 to Michael Smith. He is safe within those top 16 positions, but he's going to drop a couple of places. He's going to get closer to the 16, but he's very safe within that position. Mensa Soljevic keeps dropping. He lost 10-5 to Fallon Sherrick in the last 16 a couple of years ago. He's now in the mid-40s, and it's starting to look worrying times for Soljevic. I think Soljevic next year is going to be the last year we see him on the PDC Tour. It's getting close to that 64 cut-off. He's not attending all the events, and when he does, he's not getting those same results. He needs a big run somewhere, which we know he's capable of, or he needs to start attending a lot more events, which I don't see him doing, to be honest. I think we're going to see the end of Suljevic soon. Jose de Souza, someone who's slowly and dangerously creeping down those rankings. He lost out 10-9 in the last 16 to Peter Wright, who went on to make the final. Depending on the results, could see him drop a couple of places. He could end up being stable in his ranking, but with the big events coming up and the big prize money he's got, I think he's going to keep creeping down the rankings and could be out that top 32 in pretty soon. Robert John Rodriguez, last 16, he stays stable around the 50 to 55 sort of area. That's where he lives. He camps out. He lives in that zone. Lost out 10-2 to James Wade. And Bradley Brooks reached the last 16. Said earlier it was a bit of a surprise qualifier through there. He played really well this year. He gave Gerwyn Price, the man who went on to win the championship, an almighty scare. 10-8 was the scoreline of this one. Further away from the top 64, it's likely Bradley Brooks isn't going to be keeping his tour card. Probably be back at Q School and trying to regain tour privileges through various different routes. Fallon Sherrick did go on to reach the quarterfinals of this event, losing out to Peter Wright in one of the classic games of that year's Grand Slam of Darts, but didn't have a tour card, so she's not a dropper, so nothing there to report in terms of that. So no real big drops, but if we take a look at the players that are going to be defending big prize money, we take a look at the semi-finalists. We take a look at James Wade and Michael Smith. £40,000 coming off of those rankings for Wade and Smith respectively, which just emphasises how important that run was for James Wade when he got to the final of the recent European Championship, especially when we look also at the World Championship and money that's coming off. So he really did defend his position quite well there. Did go back into the top 16, but is likely to come back out of the top 16 again very soon. Finalists, Peter Wright, £65,000. He did very well recently, winning that European Championship, which defends some of the money. He's got a lot of money coming off, as does the champion Gerwyn Price, £125,000. But when we're talking about players like Gerwyn Price, we know they're going to go defend that prize money. That's not an issue. I don't expect to see him drop very far. He's going to be around that top 4 come the next so many years. He's not going to go very far. But they're your droppers. They're your people that are going to be losing prize money guaranteed over the next week and a half or so coming into the Grand Slam. I will be making predictions on who I think is going to be gaining the bigger slices of the prize money, getting through their groups and having a bit of a run in this event. That video is going to be coming later in the week, so if you do want to see that, make sure you subscribe to Edgar TV. We'll also be reviewing all the ranking moves at the end of the tournament as well, seeing who's dropped, who's gone up, live streams throughout the Grand Slam, talking about predictions and chatting through 1 hour before it goes live most days. The days it's not live, there'll be a video, so don't worry about that. So make sure you are here on Edgar TV, where I'll keep you up to date with all the latest darts news and Grand Slam of Darts content. Hit the like. Catch you soon. Edgar TV.